Hey riders, welcome back once again to my channel. My name is Colin and this is Inside Cycling World, where I cover all aspects of community racing over on Ruby, my Whoosh, Zwift, Biketerra. That's what I do, folks. This year I thought I'd take on something new, and we are going to be doing everyone's favorite race, the Tour de France. This year, folks, is going to be an absolute banger. Fantastic route, fantastic competition. I know a lot of you may be thinking it's a done deal already, but I don't think so at all. Anything can happen at the Tour de France, so let's go through it. So how am I going to do this, guys? This is going to start Saturday, and I'm going to do all the stages. I'm not going to miss them. Unless I'm dying of sickness, or something strange happens, or the internet fails. That might happen. I use Starlink, and they generally do a reset once in a while at 5 a.m. Well, guess what? Stage 1 starts at 5 a.m. So I'm kind of hoping, we'll see what happens. Anyways, folks, let's jump in. We're at the Tour's main website. So how I'm going to do is just going to show you the route, quick profiles, and they have these cool little video fly-throughs because I don't know about you guys, but every time I watch the Tour, I've been watching as best I can since like mid-80s. You get your 15 minutes coverage once a week on NBC or ABC's Wild World of Sports, whatever it was. And then thankfully in the late 90s with the rise of Lance, OLN, whatever it was called back then, they showed every stage. So awesome. So let's get it, folks. Let me get in here and let's rock this out. Okay, so folks, here we go. Again, at the main website here. So I guess this is all their stuff. This is not my stuff. So let's just have a little look. This year, 2020-25 route, we're starting in the north of France. We'll be starting in Lille. And I think this is the first year in quite a few years where we actually start inside of France and we stay inside of France all the way. I think we have to go back to 2020 for our last start inside of France. We'll be doing Lille. We take 4 or 5 stages up top here in the far corner. I mean, let's have a look. 6 stages are actually in like very historical areas in the modern area. World War II, World War I, up in this northern part of France. This is going to be some savage racing up here. One big difference this year too is that it's 10 days before we get our first rest day. So it's not that typical start on Saturday through to Sunday and take Monday off. They throw an extra day on to make it even tougher. And I think it's going to be some brutal racing. It's been so long since we've been up here in some of these roads that a lot of the younger riders may have never have seen these roads. So let's get into it. What we can do here now is look at the route. And this is how I thought would be the best way to do it. We'll just quickly look at the stage. You can see here stage 1 right away with 3 Cat 4 climbs, basically nothing. Take a look at this one in the middle here, though, Mont Castle. It shows up again in a later stage because we're in such a small little part of France there. We're going to see that climb again. It's a wicked little climb, and if you get a second, take a look at Mont Castle on Google. Such a cool little place, a little tiny pimple in the middle of nowhere, a fortress. So awesome. What I want to do now too is, instead of just showing you this and you're going to go, okay, cool, 4 climbs. What I want to show you here is we can do this. Oh, where did it go? Videos, maybe? Is that what I want to look at? Yeah, this one. Have a little look at this. Cool little feature I found. It's so great that Latour put this together for us. You can see we leave Lille, north part of France here, basically out into the farmlands. Small climbs, Cat 4s aren't even going to phase these guys. This kind of thing here, this just reeks of Mathieu van der Poel. There's Mont Castle right there. Breakaways, going to be wickedly fast at the front. The favorites are going to be hiding ensconced within their teams, doing everything they can not to get hurt early on these first few stages. We can go back to the road again. Stage 2, let's have a little this one. Loin-Planck to Boulogne-sur-Mer. This is in the same part of the world. And also 209 kilometers, 2,500 meters of climbing. So this is no joke. Very punchy, very rolling. We only have 4 classified climbs. But, look at the first climb here. Côte de Cavron Saint-Martin. 1 kilometer, 6%. What about all this stuff beforehand? I can see lots of climbs in there that could probably be classified. That's what you got to remember at the Tour. The classified routes are the ones that you get points on. The other stuff just beats you up and wears you out. Sprint point about 3/4 of the way into the stage. So let's take a look at our zoom in on the stage here with this cool feature here. Low end plank where we start. Mostly out into the countryside, passing through small towns, but very lumpy. Very lumpy, lots of places to send off attacks. One thing we're going to have to watch out here for like basically the first 7, 8, 9 days. We're along the coastline here too. Very important part of the world here. Crosswinds could dominate here. We could have some serious crosswinds. Look how close we are to the water. If it's windy, watch out, everyone. Everyone is really going to have to watch out. I mean, the riders are going to be on their A game, just trying to stay safe. This first week, stage 3, Valenciennes to Dunkirk. Man, another super famous city. We'll get into that when we watch the stage itself. Again, this is another, pretty flat one. All out speed. I can see this one being haywire. Breakaways going off. This is the kind of race where they'll be trying to set up the breakaway for like an hour straight. First hour of this tour will be like over 50 kilometers an hour. It'll be insane. Smaller teams trying to get into the breaks, trying to get on for that TV time, as we like to call it. Of course, they have to do that. It's for their sponsors. That's what cycling's all about. That's why we love it. We love seeing the sponsors' names. We love the sponsors are here. And check it out at the end. Our one classified climb, even though you can take a look at 52 kilometers. There's a lump there before Thumeries. That lump could be classified on a different stage. It's just the way they do it. This is where the hill climb points are. This time, welcome to our friend again, Mont Castle. It's the same place. So really cool to see that. Zoom again, and actually, if you look at the route map, you'll see that these roads, if you look at the stages, they actually intersect in places. So that's where we must be intersecting here. Stage 3, Tour de France 2025, gonna be a banger. Taddy, Jonas, Remco, they're all here. They're all healthy. I think this is gonna be an epic Tour de France. Can't say there's that Mont Castle we were talking about. And again, out to the coastline, winds, prevailing winds here. I think if we're looking across, or if you look in the distance, I think that's the UK over there. We finish at Dunkirk. Now you can see why Dunkirk was so critical in World War II for these dudes to get out of there. That's stage 3 done, folks. Let's take a look at stage 4. Oh yeah, another juicy fruit stage, 174 kilometers in length. Over 2,000 meters of climbing, defined as a hilly stage. And take a look at it. Again, the first part, just lumpy, bumpy, false flatty. Any one of these climbs could be classified. They just put them all at the end. We have 5 classified climbs, so it's going to be those guys that are good at the breakaways. This is a Mathieu van der Poel stage again. Any of these stages are right up his alley. These short, steep climbs. I mean, these climbs are like 800 meters, 1.8, 900 meters. This is not the high Alps, obviously. This is not high altitude. We go over the Côte Jacques Anquetil. We know who that guy is. 3.5 kilometers at 3.6. That's probably the toughest climb of the day, I would say. These other ones that are categorized higher, they're just later in the stage. Maybe slightly steeper gradient, but so short. Let's have a peek at that one too. Heading out, folks. Stage 5, the next stage, is so critical of the tour. This is where a certain young Belgian will probably get the yellow jersey. He's just incredible time trialist. Time and time again, we're going to see him in action on stage 5. And guys, super early starts for me. Stage 1 is at 5 a.m. So I'll be setting up my live streams. There's that Côte Jacques Anquetil right there. Côte de Bonnescues. Finishing in Rouen. I think that's how you say it. So this will give you a flavor for where you are in France, the terrain you're traveling through. Instead of just being, where am I? I don't get it. Now, individual time trial, 33 kilometers long. And okay, this is really cool because I spent a lot of time, guys. I was away on the weekend, Denver, Metallica concert, 2-night concert. For those of you that don't know me, everyone else, you know I've talked about it forever. Wow, in the old days, individual time trials were way longer, like 50, 60 kilometer individual time trials, and even longer than that. The team time trials, I found one, I think it was in 1992 or 3, 85 kilometer team time trial. So let's take a look at this. Expected to be flat. We're at, they might call it Cane. I've always called it Cane. This is a critical area in World War II history, 1944. Guys, just so you know, Omaha, Utah, Gold Juno Sword. The Canadians, that's where I'm from, landed at Juno. That was their beach. Facing some of the toughest opposition around the areas of Cane here. And it's so cool to see the French people and the Dutch people later on in the war still recognizing the Canadians in the area. They have Canadian graves. I did see Juno Beach, 14,000 dudes landed there, over 1,000 died that day. So, yeah, brutal. Anyways, folks, let's look at this. 33 kilometers. I'm liking this. This is just getting to the right length to let the time trial shine. I find that the Tour has kind of strayed away from that. It's all about climbers now. The less time trialing, the easier it is for the climbers to excel. Because generally, they're not the greatest at time trialing. And things have been changing over the years, though. Like, I mean, now there's incredible climbers that can also time trial. In the old days, it was kind of you were one or the other. So this is a nice length time trial. I would expect Remco to be in the yellow jersey right here. This is a perfect length. He's going to put some huge damage into these guys. Let's have a quick look. It's just an out and back here. I think we almost start at the same place. Probably, maybe we'll start on the other side of the river there, I would imagine. So that's where the beaches are. That's the beaches of Normandy right up there. Top of the screen. Out and back, pan flat here essentially. Out through the farm fields. You know, lots of farming here. So they should finish very close. The course almost touches together here on 2 locations. But does finish, it looks like it finishes at a track. Maybe that's a velodrome there. Maybe a bit too big for a velodrome, but it's a track of some sorts. Okay, let's move on. That's a super important stage coming up. Oh, wow, look at this one. This looks absolutely tragic to me. Bayeux to Vire, Normandy. We're going to stay in that Normandy area. Very windy, tough terrain. 3,500 meters of climbing this early in the tour. Let's have a look at it. Look at all these lumps. Lumps and bumps, folks, again. Half of them aren't even classified, but they all add up in the legs. We've got the Côte de Montepincon, de la Renconnière, Mortagne Côte. You get it, right? Again, this could be a Mathieu stage. Remember at the Tour, you got the GC teams, you got the sprint teams. There's teams that are here stage hunting. They don't have a GC contender. So they're looking to get guys out there in the breaks, stay away all day, and win the stages. And I love those guys. I absolutely love them. I cheer so hard for those guys that are brave enough to go on the solo break because it's pretty futile to go out there. Most of the times you're going to get caught. And I've seen dudes get caught like less than 50 meters from the finish. It happens all the time. Again, we're way north here on the coast. Heading out. I'm not sure how well the terrain shows here. You can see lumps and bumps here. And the climbs are showing up. This is so cool. I love seeing this. So remember, folks, Inside Cycling World, I'll be covering all of it. I will be probably having a 3-screen setup. There's the Côte de Mortagne, where I can watch and listen on Flow Sports, Flow Bikes. Can't show it to you for copyright, right? I will have Pro Cycling Stats up with all, like, basically the details from the stage. Maybe I'm going to try to see if I can get some tour radio. Yeah, so we started there. Like, basically where we started, that's the beaches of Normandy right up there, folks. From about here all the way over to here. This is Cane right here. Sorry, you probably can't see the pointer. But it's all that area up there. Let's move on to stage 7. Trying to go through this pretty quick, guys. Another tough stage. Hilly, 197 kilometers, 2,450 meters of climbing. Any of these days would just put me in the hurt locker, folks. And again, it's going to be a super fast start. Teams desperately trying to get into the break. The teams always want to have guys at the front. The big teams, UAE, Emirates, XRG, Jumbo-Visma, they're going to be protecting their leaders big time. Don't forget Primoz Roglic. I always say Roglic, Colin. Just say Roglic. Primoz is back. Don't count him out, folks. Do not count him out. I can see a lot of different stuff happen this year. I think there might be... I would like to find out if there's like a coalition of teams, friendly handshakes behind the scenes. Hey, man, we need to work together if we want to have better results. Now, I know there's ethical reasons. They could get in trouble for that. But, little wink, handshakes. It happens. They have to. Why not work together with the team to better your team? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't know if the Tour thinks that way, but we're going to find out real soon. So again, 3 climbs here. Actually, look at this. The final part of the stage, that last part's not even classified, but it's uphill again. Looks tougher than the 2 before it. Okay, let's check the video for this one. Oh yeah, we're way up there. St. Malo. Big, looks like a big marina there. Boats, shipping. I think this might be a big ferry area that comes across in the UK. Out through the farmers' fields, love it. France, greatest place, man. I love it. So fun. This is the most exciting time of the year for me. And guys, I'm going to do even more and more of this stuff. Again, we're back to the coastline there, so we're going to see crosswinds all the time here. I'm kind of hoping there's crosswinds, because that's the kind of thing where crosswinds, 30, 60, 90 seconds, just happens instantaneously. Makes the race so exciting. Oh my... The Mur de Bretagne. This is a wide open climb too. What I like about this one, you can basically see them riding up the climb. I think we were here last year as well. We do 2 passages of it. That's really cool. Cool to get these really tough climbs back. That was stage 7. Stage 8, folks, on Saturday. 171 kilometers flat. Still 1,700 meters of climbing. It ain't that flat, folks. Is that really that flat? Is that what that means? Wow. That's crazy. Here's the stage. Sprint stage, just before halfway through. This will be another breakaway day. This might be a stage where it kind of settles down a little bit. Maybe let some of the smaller teams go for it. Obviously, everyone's going to be trying to go for it. Big teams, just keeping an eye on each other. Zoom on stage. Let's have a look. Love this feature. You guys, you can check this out yourselves. It's all available through the Tour's website. They got so much good data there. It's all there to look at. I know they have the radio tour, as they call it. I'm not sure if there's an English broadcast or not. If there is, I'm going to see if I can use it. As I watch over here, probably going to have 3 screens set up for this. And there will be a YouTube live chat open the whole time. Laval. We have a place in Canada called Laval. It's out in Quebec. You'll find a lot of names in Canada are similar to the UK, France. Okay, so let's just jump out of that one somehow. Okay, that one's kind of long, so we'll jump out of that one right now. And we'll jump to stage 9. Chinon to Châteauroux. Another flat stage. Let's actually see how flat it is. This one looks pretty flat. Just some lumps at the beginning. False flatty stuff. Again, though, you never know what's going to happen. That's the beauty of the Tour de France. The leaders are going to be trying to stay safe here. One crash, or as I like to say, one bad burrito, your tour could be over. It could be that simple, folks. You're going in as the favorite. Taddy might have a bad curry one night, and boom, he's out. Richard Carapaz is out. He got a stomach flu, and actually, I had Richard Carapaz as my dark horse winner. I think Taddy and Jonas are going to be watching each other so much that there may be a chance for someone to kind of sneak in there and pull something off. It just happens. Richard Carapaz is out, which is unfortunate because he was on fire. He was really looking good. But we've got other riders there. It's going to be a great tour nonetheless. Take a look at this stage here. Chinon. I think we're kind of in like central northern France right now. So much farming here. Lots of forest land still. Love it. Cruising through the countryside. And remember, it's 10 stages before our first rest of this year. They're really going to wear these guys out. I think it takes a while for riders to adapt to the tour. So that's stage 9. This will be the end of the first block. This will be the Monday now. Usually there would be a rest day here. Not this year. Not this year, folks. And this one's a doozy. This one is going to be a, as I like to call it, a ring-a-ding-dong-dandy, folks. 4,400 meters of climbing, 165 kilometers, mountain stage. Take a look at this little beauty. Look what we got here. Yeah. There is 7 Category 2 climbs and 1 Category 3 climb. You better have your oatmeal this day in the morning to fuel up for this baby. Nothing too insanely hard, but we're starting to get into the longer climbs. Just starting. 5 kilometer plus. There's a few of them here. The Côte de Charade is 5.1 kilometers at 7%. And the Col de la Croix Saint-Robert, kind of sounded French, didn't it? 5.1 kilometers at 6.4%. And we got other ones that are just under 5 kilometers. This one is going to be a smash fest right here. Kind of going into the rest day. And, you could see it right away. Look at the terrain. Straight up into the hills. I wouldn't call these mountains. I'd call these more like foothills. This kind of stuff's all over the place where I am in Alberta. The high mountains are over there. We're not in the high mountains yet, folks. Soon to come. They start next week. Ooh, that was a cool feature there. I think we do Puy de Dôme this year? If not, I thought I just saw it. There was a cool little feature back there that looked like just the Puy de Dôme, which is a volcanic remnant that just sticks up out of the land. There's the Col de la Croix Saint-Robert. Yeah, this is going to be a tough day right here, folks. Looks like we're going to end right here in this valley system here. Puy de Sancy. That looks great. So, Tuesday, July 15th will be our rest day in Toulouse, so they'll probably transfer overnight into Toulouse. That's what you got to remember, too. These guys are always being transferred. Finish the race, recover, drink, rehydrate, get on the bus. Some are showering on that bus if they can. Recover, drive in the bus a couple hours. Get to some weird little hotel. Stage 11 on Wednesday, Toulouse to Toulouse, so it's kind of like an out and back. Is this going to be a big loop as well? Again, they still got their climbs here. Even something like this. This is for those strong riders. A Mathieu van der Poel, again. That style of rider. A Wout could win this stage very easily as well. May not be allowed to. It all depends how the race plays out. I'm sure there's days when they're like, no, dude, you're sticking near Jonas. You're sticking near him all the way. But, if Jonas is surrounded by a bunch of other riders and Wout's in a good position, they might say, yeah, dude, now you go for it. Go. Again, tactics are changing on the fly as they see them unfold. So we're starting in Toulouse here. Hope this looks good to you guys because I love this feature. Again, you can find this all at www.latour.fr. All the stages are there. Have a look at them. Take it all in. Usually I'm watching the stages and I know roughly where we are, but I don't really know what it looks like. So this is all pretty fascinating to me. Really looking forward to the scenery at the tour this year. But probably I'd say it's at least 25% of the reason why I watched the tour. And bike racing in general. Yeah, basically just a big loop. Moving on. And here we go. Stage 12, Thursday, July 17th. Put this one down in your pocketbook, folks. Hautacom. Yeah, dude. Epic. Epic stuff. I can think back to the days in the 80s and the 90s. One particular, Mr. Phil Liggett, talking about it. Just the way he says it. The greatest commentator of all time, folks. Phil Liggett. We all know it. Yeah, this is going to be a hot one here, folks. Hot. Looks like the first 60, 70 Ks, there's a little bit of false flat. Building for about 20K before we hit our first Cat 4. And then we take on the Col de Solor. I think I've ridden this one on Ruby. 11.8 kilometers at 7%. Now, this is starting to be like juicy. Right here. Juicy. Col des Borders. Downhill run. And then we got an HE ascent up to Hautacam. Let's have a look. The map's going to get... This video is going to be really interesting to watch this. Leaving the flatlands, heading on up into the mountains. This is our first big climb. You can see the mountains right there, folks. They are right there. We're going to end up there somewhere. So a lot of this flatland stuff, lumpy stuff. I should learn more about the geology here. And we enter the mountains, folks. Here we go. Riding along the riverbeds, following the roads, Col de Solor. Back down the other side, climbing Col des Borders. And eventually we'll be taking our way up to Hautacam. This is it right here. Ooh, that looks juicy, doesn't it? Not a ton of switchbacks, that one. More of a gradual winding road. But yeah, I'm really excited for that stage. That's stage 12. And stage 13, it gets... This, to me, might be my favorite stage of the tour. Well, okay, there's another one coming up too, but... I love this because... Time trial. Individual time trial, and we're climbing, folks. I think this could flip the entire tour upside down right here. In 2023, Taddy had a very poor time trial against Jonas. It's where Jonas took the lead and extended and never lost it. That stage finished with, I think, between a 2.5 to 3 kilometer climb. Remember, individual time trial. Taddy switched to a climbing bike. Jonas didn't. Jonas finished 1 minute and 38 seconds ahead on that stage, and it was a short stage. This is tougher. 11 kilometers, 650 meters of climbing. Take a look at the profile here. Doesn't really look like that much of climbing, but it's just a climb. Flat at the beginning, and maybe it starts climbing at about 3 kilometers in. 2.9 kilometers on the bottom of the screen here, you can see we start getting false flatty, and it just gets tougher and tougher. 8 kilometers at 7.9% gradient. This is where things are going to go right or really wrong for certain riders. We know they can all time trial good. They can all time trial really well. Primoz could do well here. Remco could just... he could just destroy the field here. Paragudes. Looks like a big ski resort up here. Wide open for the skiers, I believe. That is going to be such a fantastic time trial. Don't miss it. I know a lot of riders, or fans, I should say, aren't the hugest fans of the time trial. It's one of my favorite things to watch. Another epic stage here, stage 14 on Saturday. I don't even want to think about how early I'm going to have to get up to this one. Because remember, folks, I'm going to live stream this. I'm going to get up when the tour starts. From the past, I know some of these stages has started as early as 3:30 in the morning for me. I'll be awake. The coffee pot will be right back here somewhere. There's a little thing up there. Actually, I wonder if you can see it right now. I'm going to have a quick peek. You can't see it right now, but my coffee pot's going to be right behind me. And we're going to drink coffee. I'm going to go off screen at times. Obviously, when you're just dousing yourself in coffee, you need to hit the potty once in a while. So let's get back to it, though. Luchon to Super Bagnères. Oh, yeah. This is going to be incredible. Yeah. 182 kilometers. Look at this, though. We have 2 HC climbs, a 2 and a 1. And look at this. The Col de Tourmalet, the original OG high alpine climb at the Tour de France. First climbed in 1910. Right about that? Myself and Steven Cycles, good friend of mine, we did a flight simulator video of this. And we actually climbed the route on Ruvi in a later video. I half died on it. But such an epic story about how they found this climb. It was the first granddaddy climb in the tour, way back when. Before this, they used to ride the ballon. It's called the ballon, like it's in balloon. And there's a few of them. There's a couple of places called that. They're close together. After that, the Col de Asman. I've ridden this one too. All virtually on Ruvi. But you get a taste for it, right? So look at it. It's just like shark's teeth all day long. 4 of them. Tourmalet, Aspen, Col de Périssord, another Cat 1. And to end the day, we've got another HC climb up to Super Bagnères. This is going to be another stage. If you can't climb, this one's really going to hurt. We're going to see a lot of the sprinters. We're going to see the gruppetto forming early on this one, folks. Look at that. Flatlands again into the river systems. And we're going to take a hard right or a left, and we're going to zip up into those mountains. There's our first one. The Col de Tourmalet. It's a long one. I think it's close to 19 kilometers long. Looks like we're coming from the west side there, the Col d'Aspen. Back down. Through the river systems again. Start climbing. Col de Périssord. And finishing up at Super Bagnères, which I believe is another ski resort. Oh, that looks so fun, doesn't it? Yes. In the trees. Break out of the trees in the wide open. That's going to be a good one too. Guys, watch every stage. Watch every stage. We're coming out of the mountains now, still hilly, going to the walled city of Carcassonne. What a cool place. It's got these white walls. The whole city's walled. Flat to start with, but we do have some climbs to take on here. KOM guys, working on that jersey, they're going to be fighting for everything here, these climbs. Once they get to this point here, Pas du Centre, the category 2, they can just kind of chill out. It's all downhill after that. Let the sprinters battle out of this one. Generally, Carcassonne, it's a huge, insane sprint finish. Guys, stay on your bikes. Stay on your bikes. That's a Sunday. Back to our traditional rest day on the Monday in Montpellier. I think Montpellier, this is what we would call the Provence. That's where we're hanging out now. And in fact, it must be because, take a look at the next day. We are riding Montpellier to the giant of Provence, Mont Ventoux. Ooh, another great day. I cannot wait for this. Look at this. Basically, pan flat. We hit Bedouin. We start climbing before we get to Bedouin. And the cool thing about it is, the epic thing about Mont Ventoux is that you can see it forever away from you. It's just there. Ooh, 15.7 kilometers at 8.8%. I've done this. Not in real life. Inside only. Inside Cycling World, remember? That's why the channel's called that. It's Inside Cycling World. I do all my cycling inside. I do ride outside once in a while. So I ride the virtual platforms and I can do these climbs. So I've done the Bedouin one and I've done the Molocene one on a Saturday, Sunday a couple years back. But this is the traditional, the one that's been used the most. Bedouin. Hang that hard left at Chalet Reynard where they spring out and they're out of the trees and they're into the lunar landscape of the Mont Ventoux. Let's have a quick peek at the video here. So you're going to see it's going to be flat here. Let's see when... I hope this video shows it nicely, the Mont Ventoux. I think I can see it already. I think it's at the top of the screen. Top of the screen right now. Dead center of the screen. They're going to be working their way towards it there. I could be wrong about this, but I'm almost positive. This is a really good video to show it. Again, it is lumpy through here. Yeah, that's Mont Ventoux right there. You can come from the western side. We're kind of approaching from the south side. You're going to see we're going to start working our way right across the screen. Molocene is over to the left. They start climbing here. There will be a point where they hit Chalet Reynard, which I believe was right there. And they climb up through this area that's got no trees left on top. It's all gone. There's an observatory up top there. And there is the road that goes back down the other side to Molocene. That's going to be a fun day. Fun day at the Tour. So that's right after the rest day. So, these guys are going to be getting tired now, but they will have had the rest day. It's going to be all out. Oh, yes. Bolin to Valence. Looks like we're going through the lavender fields here. Again, these kinds of stages, great for breakaway groups. The soloists that want to take that brave effort and go up by themselves. Take a look at this one. We'll be going back into the flats here, moving away from the mountains now. So you can see the mountains in the background there. More mountains in the distance though. Mostly flat. Looks like there are some lumps here. We are traveling through the lumpy, bumpy stuff though. So there are little bumps. So it's not, flat like as in the time trial flat. the first time trial. Working our way through the French countryside. Yeah, and just so epic to watch this stuff. Learning about all the castles and the monuments and churches and so good. Favorite time of year. And you know there's more mountains coming. You can see them over here on the right-hand side of the screen. At this point here in the tour, we could either be watching a blowout or just a mano-a-mano battle. Courchevel. That's a ski resort. To Col de la Lotes. Ooh. 5,500 meters of climbing today, folks. This one is the granddaddy right here. This is the granddaddy. I think this is what they're calling the Queen stage this year. Yeah, this is absolutely epic. Sprint point early. That makes sense. Don't make the sprinter sprint later, guys. Let them have their fun early. And we will follow all that too. But yeah, Col de Glandon, HC, almost 22 kilometers at 5%. Col de Madeleine, almost 20 kilometers at 8%. Then we finish up the Col de la Lotes. The Henri de Grange award is here. They call it the Souvenir. I guess it must be like a trophy or something. Another HC climb, 26.4 kilometers at 6.5%. Named after the dude that got the whole Tour de France going back in the day. He's the guy that got that guy to go out and find the Col de Tourmalet. Like, he was like, we need something really hard. We need harder. Like, it was just epic back then. Guys, when the tour started, they had one gear, maybe two. That's it. And they were doing some of these same climbs way back when. Like, back in 1910, they were doing the Tourmalet with 2 gears. By 2 gears, I mean 2 sprockets. You have to take your wheel off and flip it around to have a lower gear. There was no derailleurs. None of that stuff had been invented yet. So, yeah, really love the history of the tour. Vif, that's a place I've never heard of. I like to kind of think I'm good with my geography, but obviously I don't know it all. Just keeping it real, folks. This is going to be fantastic scenery here. Riding through the valley systems, guys are going to try to get up the Col de Glandon, wide open ascent there. If there's any winds, it's really going to hurt. Massive downhill, climbing again. Oh, to the Madeleine, over the top there. Probably still going to see some snow up in those mountains. High altitude here, folks. Lots of switchbacks. This could be the defining factor of the tour right here. I think this or the time trials. Oh man, that looks fantastic. Courchevel, Col de la Lotes. This is one I've never done. I don't think I want to. Stage 18. Stage 19, guys. The climbing's not over. It is not over. La Plagne. 4,500 meters of climbing. So 2 like brutal days. Look at this. This one might be... Okay, day before we had 3 HCs. You tell me. Does 2 Cat 2s, a Cat 1, and 2 HCs not seem kind of about the same? I think I would rate these roughly the same. Just for like hardness to do. Like it just seems a little bit harder. We got 2 HCs here. 3 in the other one. But in this one, we got to do 3 more climbs. Not as hard, but it's all going to add up. All going to add up. Some of these climbs, I'm familiar with La Plagne and Roseland. The other ones, I don't know. Let's check out the stage, though. Guys, I'll keep these streams really live, really authentic, really natural. We start in Albertville. I think this was the site of the Olympics one year. We're up in the Alps here. Probably snow a lot of times of the year. Col de Sazis. Love all these little mountain villages and ski resorts up here. Just boggles my mind that you guys put roads in these places. We would never do that in Canada. We'd be like, oh yeah, there's a mountain there? No roads. There's never going to be a road there. It's like, there just isn't roads up there. You just don't go there. What's up there? Bears. Brown bears, grizzly bears, black bears. You get eaten. Yeah, La Plagne looks pretty brutal. It looks like what you want to see. The switchbacks. We all love those. Stage 20. Nantua to Pontarlier. Hilly stage. The fun's not over yet, folks. This is the Saturday, July 26th. Let's have a little look. Breakaway type day. See if I know any of these climbs. I don't know any of these climbs. We got 4 categorized climbs. Of course, we got our sprint points. This is kind of going to be a weird day, I think. It's just going to be favorites. at this point, the race may have been decided right now. But this Tour is going to finish very differently. I haven't seen this kind of thing in a long time. I can't remember the last time that stage 21 wasn't just a parade where, you know, generally in the past, and a lot of people didn't like it and a lot of people really liked it. So we're not doing our traditional, I don't think we are, Pontarlier. Okay, so it looks like the flatlands here, these ridges of hills in the area. Okay, interesting. We're just off the west side of the Alps there. I think we're kind of more northern. But stage 21 is a lot different this year. We are going to finish Champs-Élysées, but they've made it tough. There's going to be 3 circuits of a climb. It's about a 1 kilometer long climb that's really going to wear them out. So stage 21 in the past has always been, it's the parade day. The teams take their photos together. You know, the tallest guy and the shortest guy in the race, they change bikes. Kadoosh. You know, it's supposed to be funny stuff and they do goofy things together. They drink champagne. Well, they sip it. Just a lot of it's just like kind of a ramble. And then the last little bit, all those circuits of the Champs-Élysées. Then the big boys get to come out and play, don't they? And some people hate the parade. Other people like it because it gives a chance for those sprinters to shine one last time. Because remember, those bigger sprinter dudes, they got themselves through those mountains. So give them their sprint glory. The way this one's done, yeah, it's going to be tough. Because here's the Champs-Élysées sprint, but then there's going to be 4 ascents. Sorry, 3 ascents up this Cat 4. It's 1.1 kilometers at 6%. This is going to be brutal for the sprinters. So it's going to be a totally different dynamic to the finish. Some people are glad to be away from the parade to the finish and then this quick little sprint. I think what this means, this kind of stage, it's kind of no holds barred. Generally, the Tour is decided on stage 20, and then it's just a gentleman's handshake. Okay, we're done. Tomorrow, you won the Tour. Generally, the Tour is decided on stage 20. It's been a long time since it's been decided on the last stage. I'm kind of thinking to Greg LeMond days. Was that 1989? When they had a time trial on the last day, and Greg LeMond beat probably one of my favorite cyclists, Laurent Fignon, by 8 seconds, I think it was. Laurent came out, great French champion. I think he was a 2-time Tour winner. He came out, ponytail flying, white headband, his reading glasses on, and just rocked it. Greg came out full aero kitted up, which was unheard of back then. And Greg beat him in that final time trial. Like, just a brutal loss for Laurent. Fantastic win for Greg. But that was the Tour decided on the last day. Could that happen this year? With this kind of stage? If you were behind by 10 seconds, would you just say, yeah, I give up? Or would you attack on this stage? I would attack, bro. I would attack. We've been going on for quite a while here, folks. So yeah, that's just my little preview of the Tour de France. Hey, what I got coming up for you next? And, okay, we're going to do it like this. We're going to see all the stuff every day. I'm going to be able to watch the entire stage. I'm going to tell you what's going on screen. I want you guys to be in the YouTube live chat. I do that with all my videos. If you go check my channel out, I've never actually done a live race like this, like real world live race. All my race commentary has been on Ruby, Zwift, my Whoosh, Bike Terra, so virtual cycling. But now we're going to hang with the big boys, so I want you to get involved with me. I want you to sit in the live chat for as long as you want, drink coffee, maybe you're going to have a beer, maybe you're 8 hours ahead of me. Yeah, just get involved. Get involved, let's talk cycling. We're going to do some predictions every day, just for fun. What do you guys think? I'm going to keep it light, natural, authentic. You're not going to see any edits. I don't believe in that stuff. I'm me. This is it. You get what you get, folks. That's what my mom and dad used to always say. What's for supper? Mom, you get what you get, son. That might have included a backhand to the back of the head. Sometimes. Anyways, guys, I hope you join me. Hey, oh yeah, And I will be doing a live video of the presentation that comes up on July 3rd, you know, where they bring all the cyclists out. Then we could see who the real teams are, because right now, I don't think all the teams have officially announced it. So we're going to see the real teams, who's actually there, who got sick and can't make it. It's still happening. It's still evolving. And I'm going to cover a lot more cycling. A lot more. So guys, help the channel out. Support me any way you can. Subscribes, like, shares, like those videos. And we'll be back real soon. Thanks for watching. This is Colin, Inside Cycling World. I'm going to have to spruce up my scenes a little bit, because Joey Jojo, that's the wife, will say, "You're doing this all wrong, Colin." And I'll be like, "You're right." Anyways, riders, thanks for watching. See you soon.